What's up, everybody? Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for another comic book review. And in today's review, I'm going to be reviewing Giant Size X-Men, Jean Grey, and Emma Frost. This is a one-shot comic being published by Marvel Comics. Now, this book, Jonathan Hickman is on story and words. Russell Dodderman is on story and art. Matthew Wilson is the color artist. VC's Clayton Cowles is the letterer, Tom Muller on design, and Russell Dodderman is the cover artist. And I will go ahead and show you that on this 2-page splash page of a title page. You gotta love these things, right? 2 whole pages just to tell you that. Now, the one thing that is a little bit odd here is go ahead and take a look at that. Is it says right there Jonathan Hickman is on story and words, and Russell Dodderman is on story and art? What are they talking about right there? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you that in just a minute. First, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I want you guys to know this book right here, I thought this book is a really good book. The art in this book is good. Obviously, Russell Dodderman is a good artist, and he works really well with Matthew Wilson. They've been doing a lot of great art here throughout a lot of these Dawn of X books here on covers and just in the art in some of the different books. So what's odd here about this book is this a must-read for you this week? I don't think so. There are some important things that happen in this book that I think you'll probably hear about just through seeing people's reviews and things like that. Is this a must-read that you got to go out there and read? No. It says Giant Size X-Men, and it's a $4.99 book, and it's not a very thick book. There's not a whole lot of pages or anything in here. But that brings me to the next thing about this book as well, is where I was telling you here, where Jonathan Hickman is on story and words, and Russell Dodderman is on story and art. This book, for the most part, is all art. There is the art in itself really does tell a story. We start off here in Krakoa with a couple of these, with a couple of mutants, and I honestly don't know who they are, because here at the very beginning it just gives us the few main ones that we're dealing with here in this story. But then we flash here to Krakoa, and some really cool imagery here as we see the X-Men here, and we see these kids playing, and we see the X and the circle, and then just kind of how the Krakoan. It almost looks like the gateways or the flowers or whatnot, kind of surrounding these kids there. They're flying around, and they notice something weird. Something crashes to the ground kind of out of nowhere. So these 2 kids fly down to investigate, and that's when they end up finding Storm. And that's when we end up seeing coming to this Krakoan gateway right there, with this message right there on this Krakoan gateway. Now, this obviously has a lot to do with the story right here. If you don't know the Krakoan language yet, you obviously haven't been paying attention and trying to decipher what some of these things are. I mean, without even trying to, I think I've inadvertently learned what a lot of these letters are and can kind of start to read a lot of the language now. So Emma Frost is there, and we can see that Emma Frost is there trying to help take care of Storm, because Storm has been injured and she needs the help of Jean Grey. So Emma Frost and Jean Grey are going kind of into this world together to try to get into Storm's head to find out what's going on with her, as she is in a comatose state. And it's really crazy, because you can see there in the art, it's kind of like, remember in Excalibur when Rogue kind of fell into that coma and she was all covered in flowers and everything? Same thing's kind of happening here with Storm. So basically, what we find out is she's been attacked. She's kind of been part of this attack, and like I said, once we get past these first couple of this first couple of pages, really, there's not any other language really used here, and that's part of due to some of the things that is written in that Krakoan language. It's silence. Because I guess silence is golden, but they actually need silence for their psychic abilities to take place in what they're doing here. And we can see that Jean Grey and Emma Frost get in there into Storm's head, and there's a lot going on. We see they're kind of in there fighting. They're kind of like in this maze trying to figure out what's going on, and then they come upon this this cocoon that ends up hatching in front of them. Just a lot of really crazy things that happen here throughout the art, and then just some weird messages and things that come through to them here, and then all of a sudden we get to the end here. They finally get their job done, and I got to tell you, it's really pretty crazy here, because here on this this Krakoan gate where they're at, the message here, you can see where it says silence. It kind of changes in color, which, you know, really makes me think that something strange is going on here. And like I said, there's that's why here at the very beginning we see Jonathan Hickman was on story and words, and Russell Dodderman was on story and art, is because this is mostly all art in this book. Very, very few letters in here. And who was the letterer here? I mean, they probably had the easiest job they've ever had. VC's Clayton Cowles probably had the easiest job lettering a book he's ever had in here. Not saying that it was completely easy, because there was a couple little things, but for the most part, I mean, I guess those part of the art would have been, I don't know. Anyway, this is probably one of the easiest jobs he's ever had. There's not a whole lot of reading to do in this story, but there is a whole lot through visuals. Now, take that for what you will. I thought the book was really good, really great art in this book, but again, not a whole lot of story. Is this one that you're gonna need to rush out there and pick up and have is in your collection? If you're a collector, maybe. But if you're just a reader like me, I wouldn't say that this is one that has a lot of super important information in it. It is just a one-shot issue. But altogether, I didn't think it was very bad. The art in here was very good. And what little bit of story we did get in here, I think is going to kind of plays into some important things that has happened here in the X-Men universe and all these Dawn of X titles, and just some strange things going on in this book. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of Giant-Sized X-Men, Jean Grey, and Emma Frost down in the comments below. Like I said, I thought it was pretty good. We'll talk a little bit more about this probably in some future videos or in live streams here throughout the week. But let's hear your thoughts down below. That's all I have for this video today, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, give it a thumbs down if you don't. But most of all, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Go out and read some great comic books, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.